Hi, everyone. Welcome. We have a special show today. Patty will be with us in a minute or so. She just has an important phone call that she's on. Hi, Tennessee girl. Welcome. Or, sorry, tennis girl. I apologize. True crime wifey. Welcome. Welcome, Debbie. Lindsay Shea. Welcome. Hey, True Crime Matrix. Hi, Riverdale. Welcome. I love that name here, Latex Spouse. Welcome. We got Mrs. Sky, Mr. Sky. Welcome. Lisa, welcome. Lindsay, hello, hello. And JB, hello. Leah, hello. Trying to get everybody, sorry. Hey, Paul, welcome back. Hello from Glasgow. Thank you. I think I got... If I've missed you, I'm so sorry. Hi, Top Cat, welcome. Hello, Janes, welcome back. Hello, Roseanne, welcome. I got that. Matrix it is. Hello, hello, Win. Thank you, so am I. Hello, Judy, welcome. No, it's Debbie. It's just there's so many people with a variation of crime and coffee. I know, but I just love both, so I didn't want to give it up. Hello, Deb. Welcome. So we're just waiting for Patty. She's on an important phone call. So, oh, wait, maybe she's, I'm ready. I hate when I misspell. Okay, we're going to welcome Miss Patty to the stage.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Patty. How are you?
Good.
Oh, I tell you. Getting all this up and going. First time. So that was an interesting thing we got dumped today on the dock.
It was good. I'm excited.
If you don't mind,
Other people's misery makes me happy. So other people is like Wendy Adelson.
I go on first thing in the morning and I saw it and I was like, oh boy. So I just want to thank everybody for being in here. And if you don't mind, I know you did a little recording of it today. Do you mind going over it again with me?
No, go ahead. Okay. Make me snort, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, we'll both be snorting by the end of the day. I have a bad habit, and my chat knows I have a bad habit of muting myself.
So, oh, gee. Okay.
Oh, it's horrible, Patty. Just like where you said you were trying to find your record button.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the uploading of the videos very well. So.
Yeah, mine is the is muting myself. Okay, I'm just going to share this screen here because it's crazy. I believe it's answers for, yep, there we go. Let me see if I can blow it up a bit. I highlighted this. Oh, not that one. Right here where it says email Wendy Adelson, Sarah Youssef, presenting my side of the story. I started laughing so hard when I saw that. Because first off, it doesn't say like here, there's dates, right? 12, 14, 23 for an email for Oren, but there's no date for that email. And I instantly thought, I wonder if that was in 23 or 24, because this wackadoodle has not learned to stop emailing.
Or in 16 or 17 or 18, you know.
But if when the trials were going on, if she's seen all her emails come out, if she was still sending emails after that, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Like, but what would be her side of the story? Is she going to say her mom and her brother went behind her back? Or could we really get a good one and say she just had enough of Dan? Like, that's what Scott Reed. Sorry,
I'm sure it's missing on purpose. So,
yeah, the date.
Yeah.
And I have Scott Radius is the wife or the husband of the one that had the villa.
And he was friends with Charlie Adelson. Yeah. He ran nightclubs. And I'm sure when Charlie went to go have sex with minors in Asia, he visited Scott Radius at these nightclubs. Allegedly.
Yep. And so just my thought on this is, did he wait for the full payment of the villa before he called the FBI?
I don't believe so. I think it was just when, for whatever reason, remember, Donna contacted him and said something about leaving sooner than later, and maybe he just pieced it together like we do and said, oh my God, they're running, and not, it's just a villa. It's not, it's just a villa to stay and relax in for a period of a year or two after all this is over. It's a runaway. So
yeah. Thank you, Super Trooper. Because I'm just thinking, like, because what was it, $100 and some odd thousand for this villa? Jeez, but it just made me laugh.
In Vietnam, it had to be sweet.
Had to be. There's no pictures of it though, is there, out there?
No, but I haven't really looked.
No, you would be the one to find it. If
I haven't. Well, I have a friend who's one of my really good friends. She's also a real estate agent, is from Vietnam and goes over there regularly. So I was going to have her look for me.
Oh, okay. And then this WhatsApp chat between Harvey and Scott. So it just proves they all had WhatsApp.
And when you're in, I mean, you're in Canada. So do people contact you that way on WhatsApp if they don't have?
The only time I use WhatsApp is when I'm traveling.
Okay. See, I use Telegram.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that one. Yeah, when I'm over in England or Italy, it's the only time I used WhatsApp. Or if friends are over there, they reach home by WhatsApp, but it's not used on a daily basis.
I have clients that live in Cyprus and clients that live in England, and we typically use Telegram. I use whatever they ask me to use, and that's what they've picked.
Chat, if I can ask you to put question marks or cap Qs if you have any questions, that would be great. Thank you. Matrix says we don't have WhatsApp, and we didn't have WhatsApp in 2014. It's the only thing I've used since maybe 2009.
He's saying who didn't have it? Well, I didn't have it.
Sorry.
I didn't have it.
I didn't have it back in 2014 either.
I still don't have it.
Oh, no?
I don't have any reason to have it. I'm not hiding anything, Harvey. No. And I'm not traveling out of the United States anytime soon. So I just don't have a reason to.
Never sends SMS to anyone. No, but see, with Canada, Canadians travel more out of country than within country. So, But that made me laugh. I'm like, okay, Wendy, what's your side of the story? You crybaby. Sorry. It just is what it is with her, I guess. And another thing I brought up, I'm wondering if you have any input on this. It's an older one. It's the business records. Let's see if this, nope, that's not it. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. We all go through it.
Oh,
it's not easy. It's not easy to do.
No, I'm pulling up all the windows here. Here we go. So this one is to introduce business records.
I don't know about either of those, so I'm sorry.
So number 5 was interesting. It's La Familia Pawn Shop. And I thought, okay, does this have to do with Sigfredo?
Probably. They were probably pawning stuff.
And then, well, we know Dr. Raudner, because that's either where one boob was bought or 2 boobs were bought.
Well, 2 boobs were bought. It was just by who?
Who paid for which one? Hopefully they're the exact same size.
Right.
There's no discount on one side or the other. But so I'm thinking that his information would say if part was paid with cash and part was paid with credit card.
Yeah, likely.
Because, and then because I'm Canadian, I don't Spirion GPS.
I don't know it. My guess is it was in the rental.
Oh, in the rental car, because I was kind of thinking maybe Donna and Harvey's car having a built-in GPS system.
You can mute me for a second. I'm going to look it up.
Yep. I'll look through. Oh, I don't want
It was a navigation tracker. So my guess is it was, it's a tracking solution for fleet. It was part of the car that they rented.
Okay, because sometimes like cars up here come with built-in GPS trackers in them. So I thought, oh, geez, wouldn't that be nice if it was Harvey and Donna's?
It's an auto tracking device. So you put it in there and it's so they know you're not leaving the state, maybe if you're renting, because if you rent within the state versus take it out of a state, it's a different price.
Oh, there you
go.
Your
insurance may not cover it. So that's here in the US. So that's probably what it was. It says Spirion GPS tracker. And they're about $35, by the way. You can just slap one in your ex's car and know where they're going. But it is a felony. So, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Interesting. We have Sky here. He's always got the best comments. I like boobs. And then
that's what it was. It was probably a tracker from their rental.
Oh, I was
fascinating to think about, but I had not thought of that. They were already being tracked.
Yeah, I was hoping it was something built in their car like you get here.
It could be built in, but
wouldn't that be nice? When the sun pass doesn't matter then. Do we know yet if Wendy's WhatsApp message content will actually be accessible to be read?
My guess is not anytime soon, because they don't want to release too much and ask her too much while she's on the stand. She does have limited use immunity. So if they ask too much and she answers, then she's immune from the answer. So they'll just wait. And then my guess is today's drop of whatever discovery is in that list of emails is directed at Wendy Jill Adelson. And I'll be glad when the document says at the top left, Wendy Jill Adelson.
And you're absolutely right. I 100% agree that each trial focused, like you said, the OG trial was focused on Charlie. The retrial was focused on Charlie. Charlie's trial, Donna, tidbits of Wendy. Because in George's closing, it was Charlie, Donna, Wendy. And now I think Donna's trial is going to be Donna and Wendy. But you're right. She's not going to. I do hope she unleashes a little bit on Wendy in this one. But we'll see. Because I loved her clap back on the 12 emails. I actually stood up and applauded her for that one.
And someone pointed out that the video, which I have to go back and look, when she mentions the 12 the people, Morgan Honeycutt, one of her bodyguard, I like to call her, was in the gallery at the time, and she was on that, just like Morgan Honeycutt on my little show, Patty's Playhouse. It looks like the screenshot that when Donna was arrested, the screenshot shows Morgan Honeycutt's face.
Oh, so Matrix says it's not a GPS for use by the driver. It's essentially a tracking device.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Let's just hope it's on Donna and Harvey's vehicle. Or maybe the U-Haul.
What did they drive? A Mercedes? Oh, it could have been on that U-Haul. Stop.
I know. Wouldn't that be just sweet? I'm just looking to see if there's any questions because chat's going crazy. So my other thing that I saw that I was interested in was, which I'm hoping comes out, is the bank records for Donna, Harvey, Charlie, and Wendy Adelson.
Who has the pile? Where are the piles?
Yep. Where are they? And it does say their income taxes, all of that. Like
Katie's income tax too.
Yep.
Probably she filed. She took all that money and then probably took an EBT card, which is just enough to pee me off. EBT here in the United States is your food stamp card. So, my guess is she was on the dole, the government dole, while getting $35,000 on the grift. So,
like the amount of stuff that she said on Stanwell, she's just a complete liar. But how she was defrauding healthcare and all of this, like, I think by her lawyer getting her to say yes, she did that, was to try to make her seem like she was believable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, see, I'm telling you the truth here, so don't look at all the lies over here. But yeah, so they've got her bank or her tax records and her visitor log.
I don't know who it is. At sheriff, I don't know who would have gone to visit her. But it couldn't have been Charlie because he was arrested shortly after. Or before that, it could have been. But, from 16, so from 20 to 21 and a half, they only allowed visitor via Zoom. Like first via their in-house webcam, right? So you had to go there. You had to physically go to the jail, but there was no physical visitation. I don't even know if there's
was that because that was because of COVID?
They started it with COVID, and then it just hasn't changed. But that's why they gave I call them jailies. I don't know what they're called now, but the jailies, that's why they gave them tablets, was during the COVID, so that they would have access, and they say it helps with recidivism. But I don't know what her visitor log entails. I've never pulled that under a Freedom of Information Act, but no.
Yeah.
Who would have gone to see her? Let's see. Let's play it out. Who would have gone to see her? Not Donna.
Do you think they would have had a
Rashbaum?
Maybe.
Kawas? Absolutely. Kawas? Absolutely. Who else? Wendy wouldn't have gone to see her. Wendy didn't come back. I think only Wendy came back one time in 2017, and she's seen at a park here nearby with Elizabeth Emanuel was hosting that Stock the Bar party, supposedly. So it'll be interesting. I don't know who the visitor log is, but maybe I know what I'm going to ask for tomorrow.
So has Charlie arrived in Tally yet? I think he's not supposed to arrive till the 9th, right?
Right. September 9th.
And my thought is, could it be one of Wendy's flying monkeys? That's what I call Honeycutt. That's what I call
Good.
Jane. People like that is Wendy's flying
Janine.
monkey.
Janine could have gone to say, I mean, it could have been anybody.
Yep.
There's a
Just
list.
because they're
Making sure Catherine knows.
getting somebody to get a message to her that's somewhat linked but not linked.
Yes, someone is asking, True Crime is asking, who are you talking about? Katie. So yes, if you could look at 42, number 42, Leon County Sheriff's, Catherine Magbanua's visitor log.
Yep. Sorry.
And we were wondering who's on it.
Yep. And then we already know about the Premier Gym surveillance.
Yeah.
We already know about Luis's and his traffic tickets. We know about that. Donna's emails. I'm sure there's more that's going to come out that we do know about. Wendy's. Catherine's iCloud. Charlie's iCloud. Charlie's Amex. Maybe we'll get to know where all his points have gone. Somebody in chat
trash traffic tickets received.
Yeah, there's so Verizon. These people, I don't know. It's so different here because we don't have that many different phone providers, but they've all got so many different phone providers: T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, like all of them. Florida Comfort Rent-A-Car, Budget Inn. So the Budget Inn, that's the one they stayed at for the first trip?
I believe so. And Roadway was the second one.
And the Roadway was the second one, yeah. Save Gas, that's where they rented the car. This time they've got Katie's and Sigfredo's Facebook accounts.
They had that before.
Oh,
that's when they learned that she changed her name on Facebook to Katie, Kadie.
And now she's...
They've had that. That was an easy one. They have had that for years, yeah.
And now she's Special K.
She's special. Special
trash. You seen her pen pal site for the prison she's in?
Debbie Martin says, I thought that's why there was an issue with the rabbi's wife because only clergy and attorneys allowed. I don't know. I'm gonna do a FOIA on it. I don't know, but I'll let Crime and Coffee know.
Sorry, I'm not seeing hers.
It is.
Are you able to pull them up too?
Share it, but it's right here. Debbie Martin at Debbie Thought. It's 522. I thought that's why.
I see it now. You don't think the clergy attorney would be going to see Katie?
I don't know. Well, there was I guess a rabbi's wife, but I don't think so.
And then Debbie here says, ask Patty at Patty's place a few months ago. I heard there was a visitor at Leon County.
But if we're talking about between 16 and 22, when she was just languishing in the Leon County, at certain times there were allowed no physical visitors. They were just internal, like a webcam, which of course is all recorded, which is lush. I mean, it's if they're stupid enough to allow their phone calls to be recorded, they're stupid enough to do something there too.
These are supposed to be well-educated people. It just does my brain.
I really question her 4-year degree. I really do. She's illiterate.
Maybe she got it from the Adelson Institute.
UCF. She went to University of Central Florida.
Yep. Special is right. And that's the thing. They don't have it in there for the dates, right? They have no dates of when for the visitor log. So...
yeah, they don't have it. It's probably the entire log.
Yeah, so that will be interesting.
Which spans years, because she spent several years in prison before she was convicted.
And it's mainly the time...
She spent several years in jail.
Yeah, and really, I think the most interesting part of the time is going to be from when she first went in till the, like, when Charlie went in. That's going to be the span that's going to be, was people contacting her.
Correct.
And reaching out. Let's see here. Debbie here. I've heard Leon County is now allowing visitors for inmates. Months ago, is this true for Leon County for everyone? Not talking Donna or anyone else. There. Patty, why don't you go and get on Donna's visitors list?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not allowed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places after some of these shows I'm not going to be allowed, but I don't care. No, I gotta be nice to TPD when I see them, which just saw a bunch of them the other day, and they're like, "Hey, Patty." I'm like, "Hi.
Oh,
how you doing? I'm just gonna go now."
Yeah.
So
just go and top
leaving. Here's some free stuff.
Yeah. What are the implications of the life insurance email? Yes, exactly.
To my knowledge, the information is she tried to say she was still a beneficiary or find out if she was a beneficiary, and she is in Wendy Jill Adelson. But she wasn't a beneficiary because Daniel Markel was an attorney and took care of his business. And so
look at
Matrix. But I'm sure she was not happy when she found out.
No. Look at Matrix here. I've been receiving some information directly from Katie. You mean Special K. Along with some fresh prison selfies. She seems to be clinging on to the hope of clemency.
Clemency from Governor DeSantis? Clemency comes from the governor in the state of Florida and most states, and that's just not happening. I don't think he's ever granted anyone clemency in the 6 years he's been governor.
Maybe she's hoping, maybe she's holding hope for the Kardashians.
The Kardashians to come to her aid. You know, like Roberta Glass, True Crime, talks about the Innocence Project. I don't think we need to worry about that happening. No. But it's interesting to think about that she's sending someone selfies. Ew. Clean your phone.
Matrix needs to get her on a live phone call. I'll pitch in for that phone call, Matrix. Trump can't pardon state crimes. I'm seeing here. I've sent her a request or through her thing, and I've sent something out to Charlie, but neither of them want to speak to me, I guess.
Oh, have you?
Yes, I did. Charlie, I sent it when he was at Wakala.
Oh, yeah? What did it say? What'd you send? A card, a letter?
I just sent a letter through the system.
Mm-hmm.
But it took about, was it something like 14 days for it to be processed and sent? And by then it was just before he got transferred out. So
and just if you do send anything to a jail or a prison in this, I mean, they all read it. So
oh yeah, I made sure I said I'm not one of these TikTok girls that think you're all that. I just want to have a few questions for you. Basically what it is. Absolutely, she has any hope, but she seems she's got this hope for sure. Well, you got to hold on to something, I guess. But that's interesting. I wish she would message me. But here we go. We've got, from the state perspective, Rash and Charlie's attorney at the time seems like what they would be using as evidence. We're so far. Oh, here we got questions. Sorry. Did anyone look at KM's commissary and see who was putting money on her books?
I think someone's coming in here. Hold on 1 second.
Yep.
It's Scott.
Oh, it's Scott. Yay. Hi, Scott.
Yeah, my business partner is here. He brought me a Diet Coke. You notice that cable's unplugged out there? Yeah, it's been unplugged. I don't know. I have no idea. Scott's asking me technical questions about the building's cable. I think it was replaced a long time ago, and it just fell apart when the tornado came through.
Oh, no. Everybody's saying hi to Scott.
If I could get him to sit down, he could come in. What's Katie's degree in? It was some sort of human resources, hospital work, or something like that.
Yeah, clerical.
Yeah, it was some sort of like hospital administration, which God forbid, right?
Oh. Matrix. I miss Diet Coke sometimes. They don't have that in Portugal.
They don't have Diet Coke in Portugal.
That leaves Patty. She's never going.
Do you need a time? It is 5:30. Look, I didn't even want to go to my stepson's wedding coming up because there's no Diet Coke nearby.
Can we see Scott's handsomeness, please?
Scott, say hi. I'm on YouTube as a guest. No, he said no.
Sorry, ladies. He's not going to show his handsomeness.
He's private. And he likes the guys. So there's that.
But that's
and he's married to a guy.
That's why girls are so attracted, right?
Right. Can't have him. Healthcare administration. Yes, something like that.
No, Katie's sister's not in prison. Or sister-in-law.
So they're asking why I can't read my own messages. I don't have access because it's not my primary.
Do I?
No, you don't. It's no way. Just so they know.
If you put question marks or capital Q's, I'll be able to see them. I'm trying to pull everyone up that's got question marks here.
Someone says, I've seen Scott before. He isn't ugly.
Oh, Sky.
Sky Troop. Some listener to that girl's like, he just said, oh my God. It's hilarious.
Oh my God.
So he isn't ugly. He's very pretty.
So just a few things I would like your opinion on.
Sure, go ahead.
Because we all talk about it here. Isom's interview with Wendy.
Yes.
Your take on, because it just looks like he was fooled by her in the beginning of it.
I wouldn't even begin to say. I think there's two ways to look at it. That he was fooled by her, or he had to go in soft and gentle, because as soon as you go in, if you watch enough crime, you go in a lot more challenging and assertive, they're going to ask for an attorney. And then the conversation ends. So I think he had to dance around it, but clearly he thought more about it, because when he spoke to other people that we've seen, like Ryan Cox and Tamara, it wasn't a secret that she could have been involved.
Mm-hmm.
He kept his mind open to the fact that she could have been involved.
I wish he hadn't have come right out and said that Dan wasn't going to survive. I think if he would have held that back a bit, we would have seen Wendy unleashed. Like she would have.
No, because she blurted it out. She said, oh, that changes everything.
That's right. But I mean, if she didn't know that in the beginning, she would have been more stressed about, is he still alive? Is he still... I think she would have been more stressed about that. Let me see. I'm going to try to get some of these questions because people are... So, no question marks. Okay, so... And then I have...
You're leaving?
Have you heard anything about...
1 second. You're leaving?
Yep.
Oh, he's waiting for his son. Okay.
Have you heard about the petition Lewis has sent to Georgia to finish out his trial? Or sorry, his sentence.
Time? He wanted his time reduced?
Or no,
don't murder people.
Well, exactly. But to finish his sentence in federal instead of going to state.
No, it was the deal. The deal he knew. It's just it's federal is running out, so now he knows what's coming at him for the state. But the state has no control over that, where he's placed. It's two different jurisdictions.
Basically,
I'm not an attorney, but they would have no control. but I think it's funny.
I'm used to Patty's rapid fire talk and reading off the chat. We will get the chat in here, that's for sure. It's justice for Dan, people.
He is absolutely going to spend his 7 years in state prison, and it's not going to be as pleasant or as calm as federal. But he already made the deal, and he has to stick with that, or he has to serve the full term. So one of the two is going to happen.
So Debbie says, so I was reading the first police report of the crime, and the schoolman said he heard conversations on the background. I'm wondering now if LR was at the door too.
Or LR could have been in his car screaming at him. I mean, it could have been a lot of, because they parked so close to the car. So when the Prius pulled in, you don't really hear a Prius. You pull in and they butted up against his vehicle. So he was not very far away. Lewis would have been from Dan's car door. And that's my guess, is he stayed in the car. His little legs, no offense, Lewis, don't shoot me, but his little legs weren't fast enough. Like Siegfried was just a bigger guy to get out, shoot the guy twice, get out, and within 2 minutes be back on Thomasville Road for the bus to take a still shot of that vehicle.
Yeah, and you think he probably jumped out as Lewis was getting ready to put it in park. That's what it seemed like to me.
Screaming at him. Yeah, he was probably yelling at him to hurry, hurry, hurry.
Yep. And then so I see all the usual suspects in here. Tennessee tennis girl. Will Lewis be considered a snitch, or will the LKs protect him? I think
probably both.
Didn't what's her name, Monica, say that he was marked because of
Monica Jordan? Yeah. But my son worked as a corrections officer, and he said that everyone's a snitch in state prison. Everyone's trying to get a better deal. Everyone's trying to get reduced time. It's not a thing really anymore. It could be a thing for a rival gang, but I don't think so. I think he'll be both a snitch, which everyone's a snitch, and then Latin Kings will absolutely protect them.
But he also did sit on that stand and take a stern stance that has had nothing to do with the LK.
Right, because LK would turn around and shoot him in the head.
Yep.
He may be a marked guy. His worst problem is getting out of prison. That's his worst problem.
Young, good point, because she had a child while she was in college. Right? Just weird.
I don't even think it was 10 yards. True Crime Metrics is saying your Sigfredo is 12 inches taller. He could move quicker over 10 yards. It wasn't 10 yards. We're not talking 36 feet. There's no way. That car butted up against his vehicle, so he had no room to move. Dan Markel was marked. He had nothing to go to. So all he had to do was walk around the car. That's not 36 feet.
Well, and like you showed
that Sigfredo was more physically fit than Luis Rivera ever was. Luis Rivera, if you look at his original photos, he was chunky.
And you also, when you did your walk, the foliage and all that there, that he wouldn't have seen anybody coming.
He wouldn't have seen anyone coming. Oh, he saw him approaching his vehicle, but he supposedly got out of the passenger side, crisscrossed the back, and then walked up. So, from behind, not from,
apologies for my ignorance, but what are the difference between state and fed prison in the U.S.?
Jurisdiction. So I don't know where you're from, but states are run independently of the federal. Not every state crime is a federal crime, and most federal crimes are not state crimes. Federal prisons are just run better. They're more efficient. There are fewer people.
I'm just looking for questions here, but we get more comments than questions. So at least I think I've never used cleaning house data myself. Okay, so they're talking amongst themselves. Oh, snitching tools. Yeah, the whole snitches get snitches. Things is a myth.
Okay, I'll be here.
Matrix. Yes, I guess Sig would be quicker then.
Yeah, Lewis, if you go look at the original videos, he doesn't look like he does now. He was chunk.
Yeah. Do you think Katie will get reduced sentence for testifying against Charlie,
No,
Donna, and Wendy?
I don't. Because she's not telling the truth. No. Never happening.
And then I thought LR in proffer said he pulled up and was within 3 feet of the back of Dan's car.
It's still not 36 feet. Prius is very small.
And then, has anyone tried to prosecute the state's attorney who protected the Adelson for so long?
He has qualified immunity. He has qualified immunity.
I'm a fan of LR. Before you suggest a psychologist, I am almost 74, and it's because he's testified, and I do believe him, even if Wendy was cited with the kids. So I
don't think he's telling the entire truth. 100%. I don't think so. No. Where'd you get the gun? I don't know. Where'd you drop the gun? I don't know. Of course you know where you dropped the gun. It was your fault. You say it's your first and only murder. So why would you not remember where you dropped the gun? You know exactly where you dropped that gun.
Yeah. Here, look at Matrix here. Katie might get a nicer pillow.
No, she won't. She's just a number.
There's something fishy with me with her locking herself out of her house. Where she told Wendy, when she told Jeffrey that she was locked outside of her house.
Yeah.
I completely believe that's a fib. I think that's when a lot of stuff was boxed up. She didn't want him to see it. So, where she told everybody, I gave my neighbors keys, friends keys. I'd like for that to be questioned. Because I think
it would be maybe, everything that we want in all of these chats is not what Georgia hones in on. She hones in on only what she needs to. The rest is fodder for us.
Do you think
I think our friends know more than what they're probably going to say either. And I think that is where we're going to find out a lot of stuff. Because Wendy had a big mouth to her girlfriends.
Mm-hmm. Her flying monkeys, they'll protect her as much as they can.
Yeah. Well,
do you think Lewis and Sig could have seen Wendy on that first trip?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make sense that she did unless it was early in the morning. How she got the kids from school? I mean, it wasn't her time to have the kids. I just don't believe it.
And that's around the same time that alarm went off. The alarm at the house that she said she was called about, and the neighbor.
Yeah, but I don't know that she had the kids. That would come from creative school, and there are several. They're on the state list, but there are several employees from the creative school. That could be one reason why they've been deposed. Did she leave with the kids? Did she ask for the kids? If she did, how long did she have them? It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Charlie would try to unalive himself? My opinion is
he hasn't yet that we know of. He hasn't yet that we know of. If I were going to do it, it would have been when they stuck me at Wakulla in that open bay. That I would have been over. It's on video. I would have offed myself. There was just absolutely no way I would tolerate that noise. I need quiet.
He's too self-absorbed. I can't see him doing it. Mm-mm. Do older prisoners get respect or treated better?
That's a question for my son, but I'll find out.
Yeah, because that Wendy wanted a reason to say she was worried that there were keys of hers all over Tallahassee, that maybe Jeff could get a hold of it. It fed into her reasoning to flee.
She just changed the locks. It was a rental.
And I'm sure do you know when that was leased out? It released out?
I believe when you look at the dates, and they're on Zillow, so it's not hidden. When it was released was shortly after it was that August 1 or something like that. So her lease was about up. And her leasing agent is not on the state's list. So I know her leasing agent, and he's not on there.
Mm-hmm.
So they must not have seen anything weird about the lease.
If they see her, she knew there was supposed to be a hit, but didn't, even because she showed up too early. I'm torn about this, seeing her
They
that
didn't have
time.
time.
Yeah.
They didn't have time.
And then we got that misfire to the fuel line seems suspicious to me as well. They acted like it was just a quick roadside fuel line replacement, which seems fishy.
I don't know how long that takes, but it looked like they just connected it. They spliced it and reconnected it.
Yeah, like those old clamps or whatever.
Which I'm not touching that. So kudos for who.
I would have no idea about that. I'm just looking for.
I'm surprised they didn't dump the car. That would have been the smarter thing to do, is dump the car and take another car. But who am I?
That's what I thought. Why would they just not? Because I don't know. Here you can take a rental and leave it at the location. And then get another rental and go to a different location. That's normal here.
So yeah, but you can't. It was a private rental company, so there wouldn't have been anyone to pick up the vehicle. But if they just dumped the car, just dumped it, and then just go rent something else. But they did. That's what I would. I would never have gone back in that Prius. Because you were seen.
Yeah. I'm trying to make sure I get all the question marks for sure, but. And then, yeah, to me, the car rental was weird because I'm like, why wouldn't you just get a different car? Like you said, how do old prisoners die in prison? Do they die unattended in a cell? Do they die in some kind of hospital? Or how does it happen?
No one's holding their hand. But the other two, some die alone in a cell or with a roommate. It depends on what kind of situation. Most of these state jails are really bunk areas. They're not individual cells the way Leon County Jail is set up. So it just really depends. A lot of them will die in a hospital prison.
Absolutely, Debbie. I believe that too. Why would you take toll roads? Like, is it all toll roads from Miami to Tallahassee, or is
there's only one, two. I mean, you can run the turnpike from, I don't know where it picks up, like Palm Beach to across, to the I-4 interchange and come up in Leesburg, which is where they stop the Okahumpka exit. And then from there, there's really nothing. You get up on 75 and come over I-10. There isn't.
Patty, this is Betty on my YouTube.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. How are you?
But let me see. No, you can take I-95 and go through Cal land.
75 is hard, but you can take 75 to I-10.
And that's a good question. How did Sigfredo not use a map? That would probably go to that. Everybody speculates that it was a third trip. But
I don't know that it was him. I would really like to know who the other, I mean, that's what Sigfredo's not talking, but I think Sigfredo knows if it was him or if it was someone else, a whole different set that, remember they were talking about took off with money. It's hard to say.
And the whole where Luis says he had like $5,000. And then when Katie says, oh, he gave me a couple hundred.
They're not telling the truth. I believe more than 5,000 than 200. Either that or it was supposed to be that amount and she took it, which has been some theories flying around, is that she took some of the money. And that was from a guy named Grish. And he spoke about how she stole money that was supposed to go to the guys.
And then we got Margaret. If Ellie had arrested them for traffic violations, would that have prevented the murder?
It is very rare in Florida to be arrested for speeding.
Oh, really? Unless you've got a Canadian plate.
Again, that's, I mean, in Georgia, it's more likely if you have an out-of-state plate, and that's a first appearance in Georgia. It's not like it is here. It's very rare that they're going to arrest you.
I can't wait to see Wendy handcuffed with her hair all fuzzy and her Botox all wore off.
I don't see that she uses it. I think her face is drooping naturally. And I can say that from someone whose face is drooping. I just don't see it, but I could be wrong.
I'm just wondering up here because she's only got those like 3 little lines right here in the center.
I'm 57 years old and I have no lines.
Yeah.
None.
Well, I'm 48.
And I love it, but God, no, I just don't see it. And I don't take Botox because I don't believe in it. I don't put botulism in my face.
Didn't miss Fancy Fiction show last night for her commentary on a 3rd trip to Tally before June. I know there's a lot of people talking about that 3rd trip.
I'm going to look at that. Thank you. I'm on her Patreon too, so I'll take a look.
Kingston to Toronto in 2 hours, Matrix. I don't know how you know that, but...
Do you live in Toronto, Rochelle?
I am about 2 hours away. So next weekend I am going to go and pay my respects to Dan.
Oh, nice. What town do you live in?
It's called Belleville.
Belleville.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
But I'm going to go and pay my respects because his resting place is only 2 hours and 15 minutes away.
Nice.
So I want to at least do that. Let me see. We got 3. I'm in New Orleans. Our state prison, Angola, has an inmate hospice program. See, here it's not like that, Patty. If you pass away, you have no family, nobody to claim you, type of thing.
Yeah. You're a ward of the state. So here, if there's a death penalty case and they're put to death, they're buried more than likely at Rayford prison. It just depends on what the state will allow them to do. Like Bundy's body was handed over to the family to be cremated or whatever the hell he was. And supposedly his ashes were put over the forest where he murdered all those girls. But it really just depends on if you have family or not. Some of these older, I think the oldest prisoner right now in Florida is like 83. They just don't have family left. They led hard lives, so they don't have family.
And that's here. They cremate you. If nobody claims your cremation within, I believe it's a year, you're just tossed out.
Nice.
That's it. They don't. She had ample Botox on most of her forehead that one trial, and they missed the very top.
Look at that. I gotta read that.
Yeah, because it's right, 3 lines right there. That has probably a reaction to some of the.
I gotta go look at that because I didn't notice it, but I'm gonna make fun of it. But I don't have any Botox and I don't have any lines, so I'm pretty happy about it.
Oh. My doctor's always open, girls. I'm just seeing Jill. I tried Botox. Oh, we went off the rails. We're on Botox now. We go off the rails. Oh, there we go. Belleville Kingston was a guest close. I don't know how you did that, Matrix. I guess maybe by me saying 2 hours from Toronto. Having it in.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Lord have mercy.
Here we go. There's a question. Do you think Sarah Yusuf will now definitely be called as a witness? I agree.
Exciting. Can you imagine? This is what I was thinking about today. This trial, in my opinion, will be directed at Wendy. A little bit of Donna, a lot at Wendy. And Donna can't do a thing about it. She can't protect her daughter. She can't voice her daughter. She can't do anything about it. Alex Morris will do everything in his power to keep that woman calm, and it will be a workout. I mean, he's going to have to take a vacation when this is over because it is going to be a workout for him. And then you have all of Wendy's friends or colleagues or attorneys or all these people passing Wendy or passing Donna as they go up to testify.
See, my biggest thing is, what is the optics going to look like?
You gotta see that. Wendy has Botox, but not a hairbrush.
I
The
love that
optics
one.
are gonna be, I don't care if
Yep.
it's TV, I don't care if you're in the courtroom, it is going to be huge because that woman is barely hanging on, that Donna. She got ticked because she didn't get a chair in jail. So she is going to be a mess. Wendy's going to walk past her. Charlie's going to walk past her. Catherine Magbanua is going to walk past her. Luis Rivera is going to walk her. And do you guys
maybe
remember
Robert.
when Luis Rivera was staring down Charlie? What do you think his look's going to be on the breaks when Donna's face shows up?
Yeah. And maybe even Robert walked, right? Like the
Yeah.
optics of having her 3 children.
She hasn't seen Robert in 10 years.
Oh, no, he was at the 70th birthday party.
Well, that was 14.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you're right.
Yeah, she hasn't seen him in 10 years.
What will Wendy and Donna wear?
Donna will be in some sort of tiny dress, no pants. It'll be some sort of tiny dress, and Wendy will be in a dress. Dark.
I picture Donna being dressed up like an old-fashioned librarian.
I picture in some sort of blue. You know, you got to think about the psychology of it, and blue is a more serene. But it'll be interesting.
And also I noticed so Katie in both her trials was in a soft chair. Charlie was in the wooden chair.
It's a different judge.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was wondering, I'm like, why was that?
It's a different judge. Yes.
Will reporters.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Dateline 2020. It's usually their producer is there, like for 2020, and Dateline is, I think the gentleman, I don't know his name, it's shorter gentleman with black hair kind of back. Yes, the producers will be there. From Court TV, it is she's world renowned. She's a middle-aged Asian, very attractive woman.
I can't think of her name.
They will be there. And then they have the anchor for Court TV, who is a really pretty black female with the ringlets. She's been at all the trials, so she will likely be there.
Do you think Wendy will throw Donna under the bus to save herself? She's already thrown them under the bus.
She already did it. First 5 minutes.
Yeah.
First 5 minutes. But will she look at her mother? Because she didn't look at Charlie, except when she was drinking water. She was like,
yeah,
trying to not look. She was drinking water, but that's it.
And Garcia I don't know if there was a transfer for him or not.
No.
No. So he's just not talking. He hasn't talked at all.
He hasn't talked at all.
No, that guy has not said a single thing. When does it click and cause a breakdown for someone who's sentenced to life? The psychology reaction of an inmate, any common behavior patterns or physical signs. What can we expect?
I am certainly not a therapist, but I'm the only one who believes that Charlie is ready to say something that the others think he's just there for Georgia for basically psychological effect. That he's going to sit there and repeat his story. I do believe that he is a broken man. I know that the only time he has not been in confinement is when he's in South Dakota, because I check all the time. He's still not in confinement. So he was in confinement basically from the time he left Leon County till he got on that plane and went to South Dakota. And that is enough to break someone. He is not a strong human being. He was a wuss to start with. You know, he was paranoid. He was very paranoid, hence the guns, hence the whatever sort of barbed wire he put up in his house. Like, that's going to stop. Can you imagine? But I think he was very paranoid, and I think he is broken. I think when you are, just think about that. Charlie was used to living a very high life. He was not a career criminal. He went from being very spoiled to being a murderer in a couple of days. And then look how Ryan Fitzpatrick said he changed. Catherine Magbanua said he changed. Bree said he changed. Janice said he changed. And all this audio that we have, he changed. Poor Chinda said he changed. He became extremely paranoid. And then he's in confinement. And confinement isn't alone. You're with hardened murderers. My guess is the reason why he left May was because they made some sort of strike with him. We'll get you out of here. We'll get you to South Dakota, but we need you to talk. You got to talk. And so he did.
You think that's he's gonna.
Well, why do that if they're just going to fly him back? And I know the state has all the money in the world. I get it. But why do that? 12 weeks, not even May to now. Why do that?
And his transfer back, I think, says something about November 9th.
Yes. So they're keeping him September 9th to November 9th. Why? I don't know. But it's a whole 2 months keeping him in Leon County. I guess maybe if there was a delay or whatever. I don't know.
Could
sentencing? I don't know.
I really don't. This is just me grasping and hoping for stuff. But could it be for grand jury for Wendy?
Well, I don't want to say anything to that. So I'm not.
I'm just wishful thinking.
I just know more than I know when the grand jury sits. So that's enough of that.
We won't go there then. Is there a way to merge the chats? I think if Patty was to do hers live, she could do it live on her end.
I didn't. I just shared my live.
Yeah. There was a funny one here about Donna. Donna can wear the outfits that her daughter wore in the other trials.
It's very clever. I'm a fan of clever, and that's a clever one.
Maybe she will just wear the one she was wearing at Charlie's and wear it backwards.
Oh, and Roseanne asked, maybe they'll fly him back, I'm assuming, to South Dakota to keep him alive. And that is my guess, is they won't bring him back here. He will be in South Dakota and he will not be in confinement. He's in a rough prison. It's not like it's an easy prison. He's in a very rough prison. There's a lot of death in that prison.
So here is a question I have. How are they going to house all these co-conspirators in the same jail?
Because the jail has different pods, which are like wings. Like, think of a wing of a hospital. So they're not together. They won't be near each other. So there's several female pods. Let me see how many there are.
Broke
8 pods. So there's plenty of space. And some might be in the hospital wing. Like, some might get put into the hospital side of it. Just depends. Because if they're trying to observe someone, it doesn't mean that they will all be, they'll all be separate because the judge will order that. But there are 8 pods, and then there is the hospital end, like where I would have worked. And it's separate. So sometimes you just have to keep one in there. And they're still locked up. Like, they're literally chained to the bed. They're not going anywhere.
Like, not so much for Donna and Katie, but I was thinking Luis and Charlie, right? Because I'm sure Luis would like to get his hands on Charlie.
They kept Luis. When Luis first came here to the area, when he first went to flip on everyone, he was in Jefferson County jail. So he wasn't even kept here. They kept him at a different jail to keep him away. And that's how he got the Collins. So Collins was the attorney who is on the list, and that is how he got the deal.
Let's see, sure. And this is a big question everybody's having. Wendy and her move to Austin.
I don't believe she's going.
I agree with you.
That is just my opinion. It's been my opinion. She goes, she goes. There's nothing anyone can do to stop her. It's still within the United States. I just don't see that she went there. But again, I keep my sources.
No, absolutely. And no matter what, FBI is going to have eyes.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
She's definitely, she may not be watched like Donna was with quiet surveillance all the time, because that kind of got done, but I'm sure she's being observed.
Mm-hmm. Sanford's not letting her slip. Tennis girl, but what could Charlie give them that the state doesn't already have? I just don't see a deal or anything he has to help.
Oh, I think there's a lot more than corroboration he could be giving. So
I would think it's more collaboration for Wendy than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's kept herself so insulated in the family.
With what we know, she has kept herself insulated, but she does have girlfriends. She did have friends. She did have jobs that she may have gotten down there. There could be other situations that led her to that belief. It could be the condo, the condo that she was going to at the Continuum. It could be more and more information, just corroboration that this is what mom and dad lured her, say, hey, if we do this, we got to do it as a family, and we're going to do it, and let us know. And someone brought up on Patty's Playhouse that could it have been, this was to me was so brilliant, I couldn't believe it, that the TV was not just the alibi, but it was the signal. That when she said the TV is broken, now's the time. Because the question I had then, if they came up June 4th and the TV was broken June 11th, 16, and she really didn't have the booking scheduled till much later, was it not just that it was the alibi, but it was also the trigger?
That's interesting.
That gal thought of that. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so y'all says the state can't compel Charlie to testify. He's still on appeal. And
who's saying they're compelling him? I mean, he could easily be willing to do it. We don't know, because we don't know yet. They wouldn't call him as a witness if they didn't know what he was going to say.
Do you think when Charlie sees Donna convicted that's when he will spill on Wendy?
He could do that before. He may have already done it. We just don't know.
We just don't.
We don't know anything. And like you said, could it be that he's going to speak to the grand jury? We don't know. Grand juries sit every 6 months, so there's really always going on. We don't know.
No, we don't. And then again, like, that's just my theory. Like, I'm just like, why would they be waiting so long to send him back? Because her trial's only going to be the same length as his, right?
He knows he's done. He knows. You can't go to Wakulla and then Columbia Annex and not know that every day of your life is going to be hell. And they didn't send him to a better prison. They just sent him out of Florida, which if it was a better prison, I would even be more assured of what my theory is. But they're just saying, we won't be in confinement. You will have the freedom to go play spades. He couldn't do that where he was. So it's just interesting. Why that timing? Why May? Why?
Yeah, exactly. There's so many whys. There's just way too many whys. The letter from the appellate attorney to Sig absolutely asked him to reconsider for the state to help him.
I haven't read it yet, so I can't say.
No, me either.
But I do know that Fancy Fiction did a story on it. I just haven't read it.
Remember, the state had Donna and Harvey on their witness list for Charlie's, but didn't call them.
It's very different. It's very different. The reason why they weren't called, they would have had limited use immunity, much like Wendy. But they wanted to plead the fifth, and that's why Judge Everett had a hearing. If you plead the fifth on the stand while a jury is seated, it will cause a mistrial in the United States. I'm taking crime and procedures, and all this is fresh. So I'm taking a crime course at Tallahassee State College. So all of that is it will trigger a mistrial. So Judge Everett could not allow Wendy or Donna and Harvey to sit on the stand and say, because they have immunity, Every person who testifies in the state of Florida has immunity for what they're saying. That's how you get them to testify. They weren't happy with that. And it was going to be on the defense's side. So Rashbaum was the one calling them. And then Rashbaum, and they were like, no, we won't call them.
No, and okay, so this brings up my thing. Oh, sorry. I know you disagree, but I believe Harvey will be there.
I don't.
Because I think that Donna saw the optics of having nobody there for Charlie and how everybody spoke about him having nobody, that she's going to, but it leads into the small courtroom. If they get the small courtroom, I think Harvey's there. If they
a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, if they don't, it's a 50-50 for me. But I think the small courtroom, because STS it's got 12 seats.
Very few.
And G's got 105 seats. So I think if it's a small, he'll be there. If it's not, he won't.
How close do you think Harvey wants to be to Ruth Markel?
I don't think he does, but I don't think
he'll go.
I think the boss, the domestic coordinator, will be.
No. She'll tell him to stay. Absolutely not.
It would be something. No. I'm hoping you're there if he is.
They are cowards, and I do not see it. But he would be literally, I don't know, talk about 10 yards from Ruth Markel. We all come out the same hallway. We all come out the same elevator. We all eat in the same areas. No, he will not be there.
Like the only
reason the balls the Murdaughs have. He didn't have any balls. No offense.
No, I agree.
I don't know if you swear or not. I swear a lot, so I'm not sure.
So do I. No.
Okay.
I go off the rails.
They would automatically have use immunity, y'all, if they took the stand. It's the way it is. It's not a special immunity, like a full immunity. It is use immunity. The second you take the stand, you are immune for what you say, as long as it's truthful.
Yeah, and that's with a state subpoena, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Arresting Wendy right before Donna's trial is like when Charlie was arrested right before Katie's. They need her to, she's testifying.
Yeah, it will not happen.
My thing is, I hope the minute she gets off the stand and goes out the door, Sanford's standing there with a shiny pair of bracelets.
My guess it's at the airport, just for fun.
Oh, another airport.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to fly out of Tallahassee.
Yeah, but see, if they do it right there, you're there.
It's not going to happen because of mistrial, because they're just not going to cause that kind of scene.
Oh, that would just be beautiful. That would be poetic.
It would be great TV, but it will not happen.
But for me, it would be great for the Markels to be present when it happens.
I know, wouldn't it?
That's how I see it for them.
I know.
And then I'm just
they've been so graceful through this whole thing.
Oh.
It's just...
Well, I did send an email to Georgia the other day to see if I could purchase cushions for the Markels and have them. But I haven't received one back yet. And I know she's busy, so I may call the courthouse.
I saw people take cushions in there.
So I may, and maybe if I call the courthouse and it's possible, maybe I can wire you the money and you could pick them up for them.
Yeah, let me know.
That's so sweet. They just, the discomfort they're already in.
I know, that's very sweet of you.
Going through that.
So there's no reason you can't take a cushion in.
But I thought
you won't be able to bring your iPad, but you'll be able to bring a cushion, I bet. Especially them. I don't see an issue.
Okay, something about furnishing in Wendy's condo. Tell me, I don't know how long I have to enjoy this stuff, so I don't need to splurge on anything nice. Either getting arrested, fleeing the country.
That's a good one. Well, it's not that just her shoes alone. She's not running through any airport trying to get away from anybody.
I just want to know what it was that was stuffed behind that cushion, Patty.
Right? Did you see it? I watched. Oh, that's so funny to me.
I just
Yeah.
want to know what was behind that
It
cushion.
was clothing or some sort. It was probably kids' clothes, and she just doesn't clean. I mean, the woman
Probably
does
another
not clean.
probably another owl t-shirt, right?
Well, the owls are everywhere in that house, so I hope
So
somebody had it staged, whoever rented it.
really.
Yeah, I'm going to send them a card and ask them if they knew who they were running from.
Oh, that would be great. Do
I
you
am
think that
occupant.
Wendy moved in with Harvey?
Someone said it's only a 2-bedroom, so I don't know. I don't know. That the condo's only a 2-bedroom, but that was my guess. I mean, she could have taken another one, right? Another unit.
Yeah, and you're right. Dan was not a fan of Wendy's housekeeping skills,
Mm-mm.
Lolly. Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
No, Wendy ain't living with Harvey.
It's a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, so not likely, but she could be closer to her father. I don't know where the middle school is that the boys are going to be attending or are attending because they're old enough for middle school now.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie Martin says the shower inspired Patty to clean grout. No, Scott Coward inspired Patty to clean grout. And even then, Scott Coward said, Patty, it looks so much better. It just isn't good. That's what it is.
No, that was
Scott's very on it.
yes, and you're right, true, because I seen it through Patty's thing, the pins in the map.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mindful.
I mean, she's
Robert,
been all over South America. She is well traveled. But I don't care. She's just trash. She's a trash woman. She's trash.
yeah.
Anybody who keeps someone's, even if she had him murdered or allegedly had him murdered or conspired to have him murdered, she kept his kids away for 2 weeks. At that point, I don't see how any of these people could be friends with her.
No,
I just don't understand Tova Walsh and the rest of them. I just physically, and I went through a horror divorce, but she wanted to be the only parent. And that is what I just don't see.
Well, she says it in the podcast, right? That I married somebody that would make a good father for my kids.
Mm-hmm. Everything was possession for her.
Mm-hmm. Robert married her and are still married. She is a different religion and culture. She's an ER doctor.
Yes, and she is on the witness list. Alethea. She's on the
Haritha or something like that.
Yeah, and she might go by that, but the full name is different. It's longer.
And Jay hadn't been updated since they moved in the 70s. Had an Imagine with Millionaires, but I bet you that's the Coral Springs house they're speaking about.
I know, but I love that house as it was. I really loved it.
Will they have Judy from AA Legal Focus testify as Donna?
That'd be funny. She's very good, Donna.
Trying to keep up. So the Harvey, I don't know about. Is he gonna? If he does, does he play very ill, the fragile 80-year-old?
100%.
And for 100%. Sympathy for his wife.
I have none.
Hey, Wesley.
Morons attract morons. Where there is that, Wesley.
Yep. Money can't buy you class. These people have no class. And all the things, like, did they not? Here's my problem with this family. Before everything, well, I've got a lot of problems with them, but before everything, they've got the book. They've got all these horrible emails. They've got her keeping the Holocaust ring. Like, got all this nasty stuff. Where do they think, maybe putting out a hit on this person? The arrows are all pointing to us. With all this nasty in the background.
Yeah, but it's more than that. I mean, that's just hate. Hate doesn't translate to murder. What translates to murder is allegedly dropping by Charlie's house and handing him $100,000 in cash. It is allegedly going to the sushi place with your kid and listening to him talk about a murder, because that's what they talked about. Meanwhile, they're being recorded. It's more about the daughter going to pick her up. It's about the look on Harvey's face when he saw Tamara. It's about how they treated the Adelsons and took the kids and changed the name. And it's about making sure that they never spoke to the police. It's all of that. It's not just about the hate previous, it's about what triggered that day. He was going out of town. Jeffrey was going out of town. Who knew Dan's schedule? Who did she speak to? And I think I've always felt that Harvey was more involved than most people do. I'm not an attorney, and I know all of these attorneys do not feel Harvey was involved. I believe he may not have been involved the first few weeks from October to, say, May, but after that, I 100% believe he was involved. I believe he is a hateful man who has suffered from a lot of rage and has put it on his kids, and they had no choice but to tell him. He was the one who signed the car over to Catherine Magbanua. Mm-hmm. He was the one who knew. I mean, there was probably a lot in their marriage. She didn't tell him everything, but we're writing checks by hand to Catherine Magbanua. I just have to believe that Harvey knew a lot more than, and Harvey was with them at the beach when they had the convo after the bump. Harvey was with Donna.
Yep.
Charlie, who knows what was spoken there was Charlie. Charlie knows what was spoken there. So that's something he could attest to. But is he going to throw his dad in the bunch? I don't know. But I believe Harvey may not have been the original conversation, but he was afterwards. So if you read Catherine Magbanua's, sorry, I'm spitting on myself. If you read Catherine Magbanua's indictment, it says conspiracy from 13 to 16, that she constantly was conspiring. Even after the murder, there was conspiracy. I think Harvey could be charged with conspiracy. And I'm not an attorney or a judge, but he could easily be charged with conspiracy after Dan or after the fact. I know Carl says no. I know all these YouTubers say no, but just as a layperson, I think there's more to it than what we know.
Mm-hmm. So well, and he was so much in control of the family finance, right? The money.
Right.
There's no way $138,000 just goes. Harvey.
No. And he drove the car because he would not allow Donna to drive herself. So he drove the car. People are like, well, maybe he dropped the car. Maybe they had two cars. Or no, they didn't have two cars. Because at that point, they didn't know they were being watched or would be even considered, because they really believed they could get away with it. Most murderers do. So they did their thing. They drove up together to Tallahassee, spent the night halfway, continued the drive up, and then drove back, because what they were doing in their mind, Wendy said it, I did nothing wrong, so therefore I'm not guilty. That's what she said. They didn't believe they were doing anything wrong. They were just doing their normal routine. He drives up, he drives back. Wendy pretends that she's, breastfeeding? Those kids weren't breastfeeding age. So that's a lie. But she's like, he drove back. He drove. He knew. What were those conversations inside that van? That's what I'd love to know. Inside that car, she hauled ass with her parents.
Mm-hmm. I might, like I said, and everybody knows, my opinion is Wendy's the master. Harvey, it goes down like that. Wendy, Harvey, it's a pyramid. They talked about a pyramid scheme, right? They know how the pyramid schemes work. Just trying
we don't know everything that they have, because they've been really, the state of Florida is masterful at what they will release to YouTubers, and some of it for free. Like I've only asked for 2 FOIAs. I haven't asked for a lot, but they're like, we won't charge you this time, Patty. Well, I'm like, you haven't charged me at all. So I think they're very specific. Like you're a YouTuber, they've got to be talking. The state knows who's doing these YouTubes and not. We're going to give them blank. It's just like when they released the phone calls. They gave those for free. They didn't charge people for those calls. So they know what they're releasing, who they're releasing to. They know it's being dispersed. They know it's creating support for the state and for the Markels and for the justice for Dan. So That's just me. But I think Harvey is as guilty as the rest of them. It's just, will they sweat? Are they persuaded enough to arrest him? I think there's more on Harvey because Wendy has insulated herself than there is on Wendy. And I think she's going down.
Oh, interesting. Because I think I can see Harvey's guilty, but at this moment, I'm hoping this trial shows me how Georgia gets there with Harvey. But I see more on Wendy than I do see on Harvey. So it's interesting you say that.
So do I think Harvey and Donna stayed halfway to tally because Dan was still alive? No, I mean, that could be a point I had not thought of. But they were 70 years old and driving at night because it was at nighttime when they left. It's hard drive. You know, it's hard to see if you have night vision issues driving up 75 to 10, and 10 is so damn boring. It's horrid. I-10 is just so boring. So that's my guess, but I had not thought of that because Dan was still alive. I mean, he didn't die till like 1 or so in the mornings.
Yeah. Tamara, she's amazing. Like her interview.
A lot more about Tamara than we did, right? You know, she was clearly in love with Dan. Poor thing. You know,
I thought that too. I thought for her it was more than a friendship. I think that she basically, but her going in there and being looked at, like the things that she said about how Harvey reacted, which really is echoed in Ruth's book on how Harvey was reacting in the house.
Why would you react that way if you didn't know anything?
Yeah. Like walk everywhere but nowhere is what Ruth said. He was everywhere but nowhere. Like, yeah. I don't. There's a question here. Sorry. I hope they are following Wendy closer than Donna. Do you believe that even though it wasn't for the guy that tipped the FBI off, that would let Donna slip?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just would have no idea. But you can watch people nowadays without watching people. You don't always need, even 14 or 10 years ago with, when they had cars with surveillance, you don't need all that now. You have drones. You can, it's hard to get a drone warrant. I know that because of my class now, but there are other ways to watch people without watching people.
So I am going to bring up a funny. The other day when that weird girl, the video of her interview was released and they were talking about Dan's address and somebody looking for
Elizabeth. Mm-hmm.
I honestly, Patty, I sat there and go, oh no, it's Patty. She was looking up the address.
Oh no.
I was like, I instantly like, oh boy.
Patty... I would have told. My face was going to show up on some screen because of some interrogation or questioning. It's questioning. You would have known a long time ago.
Yeah, I did. I was like, but what is wrong with, I don't want to say what is wrong with that girl, but something was very off with her.
Well, she forgot she was on camera. She was bad-mouthing her boss. She was bad-mouthing Dan. She was bad-mouthing Dan's friends. She was bad-mouthing the house that the man just got shot in. She was bad-mouthing how he works. She was bad-mouthing D.L. Umberto, who was the president of FSU for a while. She was bad-mouthing the nomenclatures that professors earn to become that. She was minimizing everyone but herself, which is Wendy. It is Wendy. And I don't know her, so...
She came across to me, as we say up here, she's the lunchroom gossip.
Mm-hmm.
That she would be the one spreading rumors about somebody. Like somebody's having an affair or this and that. That's how she comes across to me.
Yeah, she was a lot.
Yeah.
Without being much at all. 40 minutes. And at the end, she had to slam Craig Isom, the retired detective, when I'm thinking... Dude, he asked you in the first 10 minutes. If you would have you're the one who was wasting law enforcement resources. You should have just said, yeah, I looked him up.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Elizabeth Boyette. It's not Schmidt anymore. That was her last name. It's Boyette.
Elizabeth Boyette.
Boyette.
Can they legally track her with her phone while
yes.
getting her?
Well, they don't need to do, or they have to have Well, what we know is they have to have a warrant and it's a limited amount of time. But what they can do is likely there are utilities in her name. So
Oh,
it's easy. The government speaks to the government, right? So you can get someone utilities and just tag that and figure out where the utilities are being turned on with their name.
y'all, we missed that joke you made about Shadrick. So yeah, and that one, just let me go over my, because I'm trying to watch the chat, trying to grab the chat here too.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few things. Or if my biggest problem is if Wendy gets arrested, is what happens to these boys. That's my.
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, they're almost 15 and 13 at this age, 15 and 14. They get to pick in the state of Florida, they get to pick where they want to go.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering.
Their voice will be heard by wherever they go.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering, because here in Canada, it's actually 9 that they can voice.
I just know from my own divorce, but at this age, they will absolutely be considered as to where they want to go.
Okay, so, and that's it. But just there's so many variables of where those boys are going to be during the trial. Prison in the South have prison cemeteries. The prisons
not everyone, but some of them do. Yeah.
Let's go try to.
Inmates dig the holes. That's true.
Just delete the chat, like Charlie says. If it never happened, they have nothing. And that's another thing. These are supposed to be intelligent people. They didn't realize that all this stuff could be brought.
They believe marketing. Everybody believes marketing. Everybody. Nobody knows. Like, these fools didn't realize there was a GPS tracker in their car or in the Utah or wherever. You know, they don't know.
Yeah, that GPS caught my eye right away. I'm like, okay, what was that on?
Chances are it was on the Prius.
Rental.
Because there's no, if they had a rental truck, there's no document for the rental truck that we've seen, the U-Haul or whatever she rented, a rider truck, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. So, but it was just funny to come up in Donna's stuff.
Right.
So that's why I thought maybe it's the moving
truck. Most of this is going to be directed to Wendy. Just follow the path from the first case, the first trial. Yeah, in the event that Wendy flees, it would be such a blemish on the FBI and Tallahassee Police Department. She will not be fleeing. No. It will just not happen.
And that's why I thought, because it is probably going to be geared to Wendy, just like all the other trials have followed. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm thinking in my brain that maybe it's the moving truck from Tallahassee.
Could be, but we just don't know yet.
Yeah. That's a quality I admire. I'm just sorry. Oh, here's a question. Trying to get the question marks for sure. How could that A family think anyone would believe they're innocent? Would have never even known DM. Right. They wouldn't have.
No.
They were just
they were paying Siegfried and Magbanua, so they probably thought they had him under wraps. But they didn't.
Yeah, Shadrick Knowles helped them fix the car.
The work was excellent. I got him back to Miami, so it must have been pretty good.
He must have. Listen, look him up if you have car problems.
She's not taking her boys. No. It is never happening. John Lauro, she pays him what, $800 an hour? I'm telling you what, that dude has her on lockdown. Whatever he has shared with her, he has her right in line. She is not fleeing.
No. And a lot of people are speculating. I've seen it on other sites where will Rashbaum take Wendy's case. There's no way in hell Wendy's having Rashbaum.
She's smarter than to hire him. She's paying John Lauro for a reason.
Yeah. There's just no way. Do you think Wendy has ever discussed a plan with her boys regarding the care?
Nope. She has them on lockdown. No. I think they're in a very controlled situation with my sources. Very, very controlled.
Yes, the crack dealer specialized in gunshot accidents. Oh, yeah, but they've got to be hearing it, Patty. They've got to be. Like, they're
Just don't
going to
like it.
friends' houses, things, unless she's like seriously got them on lockdown.
She has, I don't want to say what I know, but
Nope.
no.
Okay. I agree.
She has, her life is very small. Her friends are very short numbered.
They're not just peeling away slowly. Do you think that's what we're seeing? Is her circle?
They've already peeled away. They've already peeled away.
Because she's also has shrinking seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everybody is afraid of Shadrick. I see it in chats. Don't say nothing about Shadrick. Patty's Playhouse. They aren't little kids.
They're in school, but she has them on lockdown. I had my kids on lockdown, and I wasn't a murderer. So, allegedly.
Well, and we all know what teenage children
even with teenagers, I had my shit on lockdown.
They would be just firing questions, right?
On my own show, I mentioned my grandsons. Their mother, Megan, has them on lockdown. They don't have a TV in the house.
Wow.
Did you see it? I mean, there was a TV in Wendy's house, but it may not hook to the internet. It may only be certain, it could be completely dry docked. So it just depends on what you want in your kid's life. But my grandson, one is 13. He reads. There is no TV in the house.
No TV. So yeah, well, wouldn't that be something for her? Because now they don't have a TV. If they didn't have, the TV is the main role in all this, right? Don't come after me about Scientology.
I mean, she had a TV. We saw it in the condo. But she also had a very old entertainment center and very old boxes underneath. So it looked like there might have been a gaming system, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have it with very tight adult controls.
Parental controls on tablets, laptops, whatever. How does she still have a boyfriend? Do you think he'd be the first one?
No idea. I don't understand how any of these people like any of these people. I have no idea. I don't understand David. David, her original, back in the day, I mean, to God, okay? Slightly a billionaire. He worked for the NSA at 18 years old. I know his entire life. Like, it's published. His life is published. It's not like I'm doing something on the download. What in the hell did he see in her? Or is Miami just far enough away to Tallahassee that no one even thinks about it? But he worked for the NSA. You're not checking out your girlfriend?
And he has.
What does lockdown mean? Tight. Lockdown. So prisons here have what they call lockdown, where there's nobody coming in and out. Like during COVID, we were locked down. Same idea.
If she's using John Laurel, he will tell her how to handle and talk to the kids.
Yeah, and she has friends that are psychologists. We know that too. So,
but at what point is John Laurel going to say, listen, get your effing story straight about driving by Trescott, because you're just making it worse for yourself?
No, because I can't imagine being her attorney and dealing with her. So no, I have no idea.
Like this story, what's this? Crime conspiracy, just one overact.
In furtherance is necessary, but conspiracy of a first-degree murder, knowledge beforehand of intent to murder, and one overt act in furtherance of aid and abetting.
But, here's another one. What about classmates talking? Right, that's the thing. Is she homeschooling? No, because they were registered in school. So
they were registered in school. But they're not having play dates with people she doesn't know. It's going to get harder as they age, for sure. It's not like elementary school, but And the boys are, I mean, they're likely very protective of their mother. You could just go back to Ainsley Williams. She is the daughter of Denise Williams and Mike Williams. And of course, Mike Williams was killed by Brian Winchester. And this is a Tallahassee case years ago, 03. It was 03, 01. I think he went missing. And then his body was just found in 18 and the trial was in 19. And Ainsley was very protective of her mother, and she didn't have any time or day for anybody who disagreed. And I just had coffee with someone who went to school with Ainsley, and not because of that, it was real estate related. He was a mortgage lender, and he was like, no one dared say anything to her. I mean, you didn't intentionally try to upset people, but it was a North Florida Christian, where her mother went. So it was a private school, very different.
Yeah, they've just got to be really just sheltered. Some guys are attracted to women with Carl Malden. I knew Wesley.
You know who that is?
I knew Wesley John Holmes was going to bring something. He does in every stream he's in. Like these, it's understandable why the boys.
All they have. It's really all they have. They don't have Donna anymore. That was like their second mother. They don't have their dad. They don't have Charlie. And Ben. Remember those conversations with Donna? Now I got to go soon, but Charlie was like, I haven't heard back from Ben. And Ben was the one closest to Charlie, and he hadn't heard back from him, so he could have been upset at that time. So I don't like talking about them. I mean,
no, I don't.
It's not their fault. It's very sad to me, but they're going to.
Yeah, it's
a lifetime of grief, and you don't get over grief. We all know that. You just learn to live with it.
Well, and like I say every time on the stream, is those boys have got a mountain to climb. But as
far as we know, they do.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't know, but
and I guarantee though
they're smart. So far, they appear on the outside as very well adjusted and very intelligent, and financially they will be taken care of one way or the other with the trust and with the Markels. So you just have to give it up sometimes, and just give it up and pray for them and pray for the Markels, and that's really all you can do because there's nothing we can do about it.
No. But I'm sure their daddy will be walking every step of the way with them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So they're Googling Carl. Yeah, with the nose. It was rough. It was a big nose. Dude had it. It was like mine. Well, I don't have that dent. I have a ski thing as a nose. I have my mother's nose.
Famous Hollywood actor. I think Wendy can't handle being a mother by herself, and she has a family there.
She hasn't had a choice. She's been like that since November.
And that's the thing. I can't even imagine, because those boys were so close to Donna, right? Like you said, she's like a second mother.
But Donna also said to Charlie on the phone that she knew that the boys didn't really need her as much.
Yeah.
So I think there might have been some natural separation as time went on.
Yeah, because she said that Wendy doesn't call us and all that because the boys don't need it. But I can't even imagine telling those two young lads, where's Grandma?
Grandma's in jail.
Somebody has said something funny the other day where they said, well, Grandma's hiking in Vietnam. She's backpacking.
I think Grandma was arrested. I think they know that. And I'm sure they, maybe not to her face, but I'm sure they question it.
Charlie can't turn on Wendy because she's in control of the trust fund.
She's not in control of the trust fund.
She's not in control of any money for those boys.
I think Donna had someone separately for that trust fund.
But there is that.
He put Wendy in charge of it.
Georgia had mentioned about her petitioning because of that. So I'm waiting for that to come out because Georgia obviously knows there's something there. She wouldn't have said it. Can you imagine? I thought I heard Charlie say on a call with Donna that the boys don't listen to Wendy, but do listen to Donna.
My kids didn't listen to me, so
no,
they do now because everything I said proved out to be true. So they listen to me now. But and it's easier to listen to someone who isn't your mother. That's not unusual.
Like Tattles must have got ratted out that she was watching us at work. Whoever ratted you out at work sucks.
Oh, bless it.
Oh.
Wendy's third in line for the trust. Well,
Patty.
Oh, thank you, Wesley.
Oh, that's awesome.
My mother would be very happy that you said it, but I definitely have her ski slope, man. Woo! I've always thought about it. Maybe it's just not, I always think cost benefit analysis. It costs too much to get a nose job, so I'm never doing it. I'm cheaper than Wendy. But my shoes are new.
That's all that matters. And they're probably nicer than hers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was like, what are you
slippers? You're 44.
I'm wondering I wonder if Donna's wishing that she really did go and have her surgery before she went in.
Her arm surgery, right? That had to be, I can't even, I got the big wings, especially since I lost weight and I don't really exercise. But can you imagine the pain that arm would take? Does anyone know anybody that's had plastic surgery for their arms? Does anyone know?
But that just shows you how vain she is. Like, it's in your day planner. If Charlie gets convicted, go for arm surgery. Is it a celebration thing? Like, is it plastic surgery?
Is that what it said? If he gets convicted,
it's
called a brachioplasty, and it is the recovery process can be difficult.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it said if Charlie's convicted and arm surgery. I'm pretty sure that's what I read, but it was like
they cut your entire arm up. No, I'm out.
No way. I'm Canadian. If
You're cut this whole way, they cut here and take all this out. I mean, it happens to people who've lost I've lost 80, but it happens to people who've lost even more, that they go and get the fat taken off, right? Because they're still bulky and that fat weighs a lot. I mean, the skin weighs a lot, but no.
Oh, listen to Young here. I've had a hard time believing it wasn't code for something else.
What?
The arm surgery.
The arm surgery? Could it be?
Who is in charge of the trust fund for Charlie's son?
Hell if I know.
It's obviously not Bree because she's having a lot of financial problems.
It's not going to be Donna because Donna couldn't get Wendy to show. I mean, it's not going to be Wendy because Donna couldn't get Wendy to show up for her. So it's not Wendy. It's probably a third party.
I think it was not convicted equals arm surgery. Okay. I could be wrong. Absolutely.
It makes more sense. Let's go celebrate with some plastic surgery.
The way they think it does to me too. It's like, but hey, I'm Canadian. So if the wings grow, I'm fine because I can fly down south.
It could be Mintz. Someone is saying it could be Mintz. Michael Mintz. I did an entire Christmas tree of their family. The Mintz family is huge. There's a lot more Mintzes, which was on Harvey's side. Donna's side is a little light on the Jacobs side.
Here's a question for you, and if you have to go, then that's fine. Everybody was talking last night when we were doing a live about a family member that was there for the closing.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but I know what their face looks like because I took screenshots of the video. So I could see it. But as I'm working through and I've been working on this family tree, it's hard when you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
For since November, October when they were arrested. So I've been working on this tree of Donna's side and Harvey's side. And I don't know who they were, but I know they were definitely related. I mean, they just looked identical.
So it was the gentleman behind Harvey with the glasses?
No, behind Daniel, yes. The gray-haired man who looked like he fell asleep.
And the gentleman behind him?
Yes. I just don't know who they are.
Oh, we had it up. They were making the screen bigger, checking out the jawline.
I mean, I just haven't seen all the Mintzes are very put together and very, very wealthy, very put together and very attractive. So it's hard to say.
Donna wanted to blend in with the Vietnamese women.
Yeah, right. But it's definitely not Michael Mintz. Michael Mintz is very handsome. The Mintz sisters are very pretty. None of those. This was an overweight gentleman with an overweight wife. I don't know who they are, but I do know when Sonny, who's a subscriber, when we all went to lunch after the trial let out, while they were getting ready to eat, jury was getting ready to eat lunch and deliberate, Rashbaum was behind us with those people, and they went off to a different restaurant. And so I could see them full on, like they were right behind us. And I was like, that is definitely Charlie's family. But I don't know which branch, side, who. I mean, it's obviously no one that lives right in Palm Beach or Miami.
Could it be the family from Austin then?
No, the Mintzes are very attractive people. But there's a lot. Harvey's mother had a lot of sisters. And the husband, so Harvey's parents had siblings, a good many of them, with many different last names. So it's a challenge to figure out which branch. You know, the Mintzes are their second cousins. They're not first cousins. Okay. Harvey was an only child. So it's just a challenge to work through it and make sure. And I have the professional version of Ancestry, which is now out there. So it tells you if you're right or wrong, or you don't have enough sources. So I know I'm right. But I just don't have an image to go with the people.
So that's basically there's the third and fourth generation of that family line.
Correct. They're very close, like cousins. Like if you went in, which, you know, not everyone's going to do it, but if you go into social media and you do searches under these people's Facebook pages, like you have to go deep into the Mintz family and you do a search, Wendy's friends with them on Facebook. She still kept her Facebook. It's not anything we can see, but it's still there.
Patty,
there are attractive people in Austin, and the Mintzes are some of them. It's just not those people.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're related, but I'm not stopping till I figure it out because that's how I work.
I knew what you meant there. It was just funny that the person said, "Hey, we're attractive."
I would love. I mean, Austin's a great town. I'd love to live there, but I can't afford it.
If she was so attracted to Miami, and again, forgive me because I'm from Canada. If she's so attracted to Miami, I have been to Florida, I've been to Texas, things like that. And she hated Tallahassee. What would draw her to Austin? Because it's way different than Miami.
A job. She's got to be running out of money. You cannot pay John Lauro $800 an hour and not be running out of money. She's about it's my accounting, not anyone else's, but on the condo, even at $4,900 a month, she's just about breaking even. She might make another $400 or $500. That's it. She's not making a lot of money on that condo because she already had a loan on it. She's had, and it's $400,000. It's worth $600. So, but the condo fees will eat you up. So she's got to be running out of money.
But so it would be cheaper.
Austin's more expensive, but she needs a job. So there was a couple boards that Wendy's on, and I did a FOIA request. She's not making any money. She's just doing it for free. You know, maybe her boyfriend's keeping her, but the boyfriend's in South Florida. The boyfriend's not going to Austin. That's why I'm like, she's not going to Austin. Oh. Why would you go to Austin when your boyfriend's in Miami? Unless you're breaking up with him, and she's a fool, she does. Because if he is wealthy, who I don't even know who the boyfriend is, but I just don't see it. So, Austin's far more expensive. Thank you, Elon Musk. It is far more expensive in Austin. You cannot anything. You can't touch it. Mm-mm.
And that's shocking to me, thinking it's more expensive than Miami.
Oh, well, no, I'm saying than Tallahassee. Let's see. The average home price in Austin, Texas, is $600,000, $550,000, $600,000, $624,000 in Austin. Average
money she gets from Dan's sister trustees
in Miami, Florida, $650,000. So it's the same. Mm-hmm. It's the same.
They're asking, are you including the money she gets from Dan's sister, trustee of the boys' account from Dan?
She only has that for another couple of years. And she only gets her Social Security for another couple of years. Once the boys turn a certain age, then they get the money.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I see. Here it would be until the boys were done school.
So
Get it
she
till then.
gets $4,000, $4,200, something like that, in Social Security from the federal government until they turn 18, and it's that month. So that's $4,000. It's running out. She's running out of money. Now the dad, the dad now his unit's worth like 1.7 now, that property he has in Brickell, and he is trying to sell some of the apartments that he has. But her money is finite. She's unemployable in a lot of ways.
At some point,
and she said that on the stand. She said, this is affecting my employment.
Well, yeah, people are not going to be. I think it's foolish to keep the condo. The HOA fees are about to or already have gone through the roof.
It's not permanent. She only had them sign a 1-year lease. It's not permanent.
Let's see. There's so many people at it. They're not. Are the LA comedians and transplants have driven prices sky high?
In Austin and Miami. Yeah.
So they're talking about the Austin prices, but that's interesting because, like I said, here in Canada, if there's a trust for a child, they don't. As long as that child's in school, it still goes to the parent. Even like if say they're in their 20s, it would still go to the parents because their parents are still legal guardians while they're in school.
Let's talk about Prince Harry. Prince Harry had a trust from his mother until he was like 26, but Princess Anne controls that. And then the grandmother, his maternal, the Queen's mother also had a trust, and he's only now getting some of that. So it really depends on how the trust is written. But as far as Social Security, that only goes to you till you're 18. After that, it drops.
And it goes to the child?
No, it stops.
It stops completely. Oh, yeah, okay. I get you.
Once you're 18, you get no money from the federal government. Doesn't matter. So it's up to whatever your mother or whoever's your guardian, and their mother is their guardian.
So, which is weird though, because it really wouldn't, pardon me, at the older age of 18, that's when you're going to college. That's when you're going to university.
Yeah, we don't care though. We don't care.
Oh, okay.
Buckle up. Pay for it. We don't have time to be
thinking it would be more needed.
Yeah, we don't have time for that.
My in-laws are from Corpus Christi and well-connected because grandfather was OBGYN. They have a huge house right on the ocean front.
Yep, they do.
Pillowcase was
beautiful.
Behind
they all live like on the same street. Like there's a few parcels like all together with the Minces. They're got a lot of money. There's some in movie, like one's a producer, like a film producer. He does like international films. Like they're a bank. They're independently wealthy. They have more money than Harvey Adelson has. Remember, Harvey's retired now, so his money's finite, except for his real estate investments and whatever stock he has. But he's paying. I mean, you can't be paying all this law, and he's paying on his federal, and he's paying, there's a lot to be paying for. So it's a lot of money. I mean, he's probably had to pay, between Charlie and Donna, $3 million in just attorney fees. If you only had 8 to start with, that's it.
Wasn't Charlie's his jury consultant was $1 million. Right. So and then
Rashbaum. And then Rashbaum again, and then probably helping Charlie out because they were throwing Charlie commissary out. So
and then his appellate lawyer.
Yeah, and whatever they had to pay for Catherine Magbanua.
Yes, because we all think that
got paid. So all of these people, it's just money going out, no money coming in. I don't care how much. I mean, how much laundry money can you get? So, but this has been fun. I have to go.
I do. Yep. Thank you so much.
I have to go. I really appreciate my my channel being shared. Thank you so much, Rochelle.
Oh,
You're
you're
going to do
welcome.
fabulous. I think you're
I
handling all of this very well, and it's been a joy. So I really appreciate the opportunity. Anytime I get to share Patty's Playhouse, obviously I'm thrilled. It's so nice.
I'm so grateful you came on with me, being such a small channel that
But
I'm grateful.
It's time. It takes time, and I don't know. Big is never better. That's what I think. Like
My channel
I
is
like
just unhinged.
running a chat and having chat with people. So I don't necessarily want to get huge. I'm not striving to, because then I wouldn't have the relationship I have with the subscribers. So
That's right.
I wish you the best of luck, and I'll have you on soon.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Patty. And like I
Thank
said,
you all very, very much. I'm going to go back right now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I greatly appreciate it. I know there was a lot of new faces, and y'all came from Patty's channel. My channel is, we speak our minds, we say what we need to say, and we don't really truly care if somebody doesn't like our opinion, because there are opinions and everybody has a different opinion. So if you feel like you would like to subscribe to Crime and Coffee, I would greatly welcome you to the channel. Does anybody have any questions that didn't get answered? I do apologize. The chat was off the chart. And for the new people in the channel, I'll just explain about myself, because my crew knows. I started following the Dan Markel trial 3.5 years ago. I was in a bad legal thing with a person, and I strive to find out how the legal system worked, because I felt like I was in a rat race. And so I came across the Dan Markel trial, and I never looked back. Now I'm 100% want to make sure justice, anything I can do. Like I said, I'm reaching out to try to make sure that Ruth, Phil, Shelly have cushions for the trial. I'm going to pay my respects to Dan next week. And in a weird way, the Markels saved me. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And someday I'll get to thank Ruth for what she's done for me, that she doesn't even know she's done it. Thank you, Young. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate every single one of you and all of Patty's viewers. I didn't get all my questions asked that I wanted, but that's okay. I'll discuss them later. When you live among those type of Miami people, you're social climbers, it's very easy to spend above means. But these people had money. Like, they threw their whole life away. It's just garbage. I believe the life insurance of the Markel brothers has to have accounting, and the money passes through Wendy, yet only can be used for the brothers. But she's got to get permission from Shelly. She's got to ask Shelly for money. Thanks for everything you do towards justice for Dan and his boys. It's all that it is. I always say at every live stream, justice for Dan, justice for those two boys, justice for Ruth, Phil, and Shelly. Every time on this channel, you'll never hear me say the boys' names. I don't say it. It's not that we all don't know it. I just prefer not to say their names. Thank you, Lolly. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. Well done. This again soon. We'll do this. Thank you so much. First time, guys, with a guest. It will get better. I promise. Yes, she has to document everything to Shelly. Yep. Everything has to go to Shelly, and that's great. And like I said earlier, my view on Wendy is, well, my hope on Wendy is she gets arrested as soon as she gets off that stand. I do believe Ruth, Phil, Shelly deserved that moment. If it's going to happen, Georgia, let it happen. This was even better stream than I had hoped. You and Patty Playhouse are great together. Oh, thank you so much, Tennessee girl. That was a huge surprise to see you both at once. Thanks, Rochelle. Thanks, June. Thank you, Crime and Coffee. That was great, and definitely subscribing to your channel. Oh, thank you so much, Judy. I appreciate it. Hi, Rochelle. Welcome back. Thank you. They did a great job. Thanks, Lolly. Patty, did you work ever in the jail? She was in medical. I could be wrong, but I believe it was in the medical part of the jails, but she did. And her son works in the jails. She's so knowledgeable. Harvey also went with Wendy and met Amy. Harvey wanted this done. 100%. He's guilty as sin. They all are. And I've been really well. My filter, my crew will tell you my filter is really good right now. And I don't believe Wendy will ever walk away from those boys. The boys' money, but she won't have a choice. She's going to be behind bars. Their downfall is so much more pronounced. It's not like they're struggling in life and the prison is just the next chapter of their struggle. The Adelsons know the good life and now they will know hell. Absolutely. I wish there was a dark, musty, rat-infested, roach-infested corner in each one of those jails, and that's where they stayed for the rest of their life. We will, hopefully. A lot of trust hit 18 years, 25, 35. Justice for Dan. That's right, Mrs. Sky. Absolutely. Great show, Rochelle. Thank you, Lee. Great. Thanks, McRamble. I was nervous, guys. I'll be honest. I was so nervous. I was not sure how that was going to go, if I'd be able to do it. And I love listening to Patty so much. So when she talks, I listen. I take it all in because she is amazing. And I'm just proud that my filter did not fall, because it does fall a lot. So I know, and I do apologize. The chat was going so crazy and I was looking for check marks, and next time I may just have somebody else run the chat, which would make it so much easier than... Oh, thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Just realized both streams are going. My phone died, and when I turn it back on, Rochelle's stream shows up first because I'm usually over here. Thank you. Email me if you need. Thank you. I will definitely do that. Absolutely. This worked out great. Patty's so chill. She can just roll with whatever happens. Absolutely. It would be great to have Matrix on your show. I've already spoke to Matrix about that. I would absolutely have Matrix any day. You did just fine and will continue to improve as all of your content has. Thank you. Yes, my beginning, because I was on Streamlabs and my computer did not like Streamlabs. It was horrible. So when I switched over to StreamYards, it seems to work better. Everyone have a great night. You rocked, Rochelle. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I wasn't even going to do a live tonight or today, but when Patty reached out that she had an opening for today, I was like, okay, let's do it. So good to see a fellow Canadian supporting Dan Markel and his family. Thanks, Brady. Where are you from, Brady? Oh, I have somebody that wants to have his 5 minutes of fame here. Here. He needs his 5 minutes of fame. I'm glad you did. Thank you, Tennessee girl. I keep wanting to say Tennessee girl, but it's tennis girl. I do apologize. Western New York. Dad was Canadian. Okay. A doggy. I love her. Him. It's a him. And his name is Jake. Oh, now he's being shy. He's half Shih Tzu, half Yorkie. But yeah, he doesn't usually bug, but for some reason today he's bugging. So I do apologize, but he's my sweet thing. He's going to be the mascot, I guess. Don't worry, I've been called a lot worse. So have I. Trust me, so have I. Especially when I let loose. Thank you, Lou. Look, see, you got your 10 minutes of fame, Bubs. We all need a dog in our life. We all do. Justice for Dan. It's all that it's about. You know, like I say, I can sit here and go at Wendy, and trust me, I go at Wendy. I don't hold back. But no matter what, those boys, like Ruth said, are still attached. Like there's no division, and I just want those boys to be okay. I just want them to be okay. So, and I feel that because I am not far from Dan's resting place, I feel that it's important for me. You know, I'm here speaking about him. I'm speaking about their family, that I need to at least go and pay my respects. Boys, okay. It's all that matters. Those boys. And any of us that have been in a narcissistic relationship or family members or whatever, we know what that bond is like. We know what it feels like. We know what it feels like when it's ripped away from you. You feel sick. You feel like you've got to do whatever you can to help that person. So it's the space that they need is going to be incredible, and the clouds will part and the clarity will come. Carl Steinbeck said someone overheard John Laurel tell Wendy in parking lot after WA testifies on stand that I agree, sir. I agree. I'm telling you, through every fiber in my bones, I think this woman is being arrested after she testifies. I just feel it. I think it's having a narcissist for a mother. I'm afraid those boys are struggling because Wendy is self-absorbed, is self-centered. They lost their balance. Who is Donna? Yep. And they lost their compass, which was their dad, right? Their compass was their dad. And but the clouds will part for them. I pray for those boys every night. I pray for them every night that the clouds will part for them. And I truly do believe when the clouds part, their daddy is going to be there walking with them every step of the way. But like I was saying with the things, there's so much things that are coming out, like the bank records, all of their bank records, all of that. The GPS that I was talking about, that's got me so interested. I'm praying it's on that U-Haul. I'm praying it's on it. Like to show your support and help the reach impact of the video and channel. Can also help by leaving a comment on the main area. Thank you so much, McRamble. I appreciate it. like I said, I'm a small channel. I did a live a couple nights back, hit 1,000 subscribers, and it was like a little party in here. It was so nice. And waiting for Dan's sons is a large and loving Markel family. And Uncle Robert, yeah, they're going to have the support. Absolutely. At least Wendy's attorney is being honest with her. Right? Rashi would say, oh, don't worry about it. You did 90%. You know, your brother did 5% more, but you do 90. Oh, I cannot believe we've got to sit through Rash Bomb again. And waiting for you and Matrix would be a great together. I love Matrix. Absolutely. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks, Win. You're a sweetheart. You always are. Because where Patty had said, oh, I sometimes swear, I'm like, oh, my crew could tell you. The filter goes, it goes. I'm back. Sorry, watching Demon Kitchen and Argan Tomatoes. That's okay, mister. Thank you. But if there's anything any of you want to ask a question about, I can pull stuff up. It's up to you. Or I'm so used to my chat, my lives going like 4 or 5 hours. So this 2 hours was very quick. Harvey drove a nice vehicle. The chances they have GPS OnStar data on them is pretty good. That's what I thought, Jay. So that's why I was wondering, because we don't have Spurgeon GPS up here. So I thought, even if you're in the fancier cars here and that, even if you don't have a address or whatever put in it, those GPS still have like a black box. So I'm just wondering if, wouldn't that be nice? And it does show that they stopped at Charlie's. But like I said, for me being from Canada, there's a lot of different stuff than what's in the US, even though we're like cousins, but we're not. But it really brought my attention. I'm like, this GPS is just something, because it was not on any of the other trials, and they had the car on those, like the Sigfredo car on that, and it wasn't there. So this is something new, as far as I can gather. And just seeing Dr. Roudner, like, that's hilarious. What's he gonna say? Thanks. Love your channel and Patty's. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. I love Patty. Absolutely. I think the boys are old enough. The truth about their father's death. I do. It's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard on them. Yes, my Jeep has GPS in Canada. Yeah. Where are you from in Canada? That's what I mean. Like, and it's just like a black box. Could they not? I bet Wendy also had that on her minivan too. I agree. Justice for, hey Marie, thank you for coming in. Justice for Dan all the way. Like, I read Ruth's book, and anybody out there, if you have not read her book, please do so. It was so eye-opening. And the stuff that she says about the day of the memorial about Wendy is unbelievable. Unlike those other sheltered kids I talk about, when these boys finally feel the desire to break away, they will not be alone. The Markels will find them. Yep, I agree. Those boys were raised by Donna. It will be a long time. Well, Robert was able to get away, right? God bless Robert. Fancy Fiction has a photo of Wendy's boyfriend. Yeah, I saw it, Rabbit. Oh, Southern Ontario. Same here. Yeah, same here. And I was very shocked that Matrix figured out where I live. That is sneaky. He is sneaky. If you're out there lurking, Matrix, email me. So like I said, I hope that GPS is something. The pawn shop was just something funny, like, oh, what are they going to pawn? But I still got 190 people in chat. So tomorrow night we will be doing a live on Katie. We're gonna do the Katie review, as Patty says, the OG trial, and then we'll go through there. You know, when I first heard about a man from Canada being shot in his garage, I thought there will never be justice because no one would care. I'm happy to admit I was wrong. I am so glad. But you know, he was Canadian birth, but he also was American, right? He also had so many roots, so many friends, everything in the States. And I'm very happy. But Americans could say that here too, right? I'm definitely not bashing America by no means. Americans could say that here. If American died up here, they would be happy if we did the same thing. Can you drop a link to your channel in Patty's chat at Crime and Coffee? Definitely will. Absolutely. Matrix has a map. He knows where I am too. He's got a Wendy map. Does Wendy still have the Markel ring she stole? Yes, she still has it. I don't see her pawning it. I know people say pawning it, selling it, whatever. No, I don't see her doing that. That's her way of saying a manipulation. It's her way of being straight up bitch is what it is. Sorry, filter. Wendy had said that she hung on a photo of Dan above the boys' beds. I highly doubt it, Q. I wouldn't. Wendy said that on the stand, right? And she said it on the stand, in my opinion, to get sympathy or to show she's a loving mother, blah, blah, blah. We don't hear about too many Canadian cases. We don't do cases up here. The courtrooms are closed. It's very rare there's courtrooms that are opened. So this is why I found the Markel case, because when I was going through what I was going through, I felt like I was on a hamster wheel and I couldn't understand because I had never been in the justice system before. So I never knew what to. So I thought, well, Americans aren't that far off of our system. So I'll follow some cases. I'll watch some cases. So that's how I came across the Markels. And then when I found out they were Canadian and all that, it just got me and I was stuck. So yeah. When was your first show, Rochelle? And what was the title of that show? My first live that I had actual people in was the Wendy one that's What Did She Say? That was my first one I had people in. The other ones, I was all by myself. Guy, his name is Matrix, like the Matrix system. Yep. Yeah, he told me because I corrected myself. I have family and friends in both countries, so anything happening in the States is of concern to me also. Like I told everybody, I'm born Canadian, but I do believe I have an American soul. Wendy says a lot of things. Absolutely, Rabbit. Fucking verbal diarrhea. Whoops, caught it. I tried to catch it and put it back, but it didn't go. For one, do not believe that Wendy is always playing the victim when in reality, Dan and his family are the victims, not Wendy and her. But she loves to play that role. She loves the sympathy she gets. There's that case of those famous millionaires with the RX murders never solved. Yep. You keep saying matrix. It's metrics. Thank you, metrics. You only got to tell me twice, Sky. I'll get it. Metrics. I hope you're right about Wendy. I want her arrested after she testifies. So do I. I want the Markels to have that moment. I really do. And a lot of people say, oh, she should have been first or this and that. She would have folded. She would have taken a plea deal. She would have been getting a get out of jail free card like they offered Katie. I believe she is the head of the snake, and George is waiting to take the head off the snake. Hey, when I got confused with two streams at the same time. Hi, true. But she is the head of the snake. I completely believe it. It's metrics. I got it now. I will never say it wrong again. But that was a great opportunity to talk to Patty. I've spoke to her on the phone. True crime wifey, so did I earlier. Yeah, because I was hoping Patty would restream it on hers, but I think we got confused because the chat went ballistic. I think it went insane. Thanks, Rebecca. Welcome back. There was a lot of there was things I didn't discuss. I had my notes and everything ready to go. Yeah, there was lots of stuff I didn't discuss with Patty, but we'll leave it for next time. Because it's so interesting, like True Crime Wifey here. They're in Tally, right? They're on the ground. And I like to know what the people are thinking. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hidden Gem. Thank you. I like to know what the people are thinking. I really, truly want to find out what it was like in the courtroom when the jurors said guilty. I really would like to know because I would assume that at some part, a little bit of the air lifted in that room. I would hope. I think, what do we got? Well, Sky, this is a shorter live than normal. I don't really want to jump into Katie tonight because that will take forever. But let me see. And I truly do believe there's a lot on WhatsApp. Absolutely a lot's on WhatsApp. And I was told that it's hard to get anything from WhatsApp unless you have the actual device it was on. And so when Wendy gets arrested, they'll have her cell phone, right? But they'll at least get some side of Donna's. Hi, Michael. Welcome. They'll still have part of it. Yep. So many WhatsApp messages that way. I think WhatsApp is going to take Wendy down. And her email, guys, that email regarding presenting my side of the story. Like either this is her going to be whining or this is her with another book. Isom took her phone on the day. Yeah. But I wonder if she got a different phone, different Apple ID, anything like that. Oh, we're getting a storm. It's thundering outside here. Wendy got a new cell phone right after the murder because she thought it was tapped. Yep. But are they, because they're not, oh, it really bugs me how these people are supposed to be so smart. Because if they use the same iCloud account, if they use the same, like if they still have the ones that have a SIM card, having a new phone does nothing. Switching phones, like my Samsung just died recently. I had to switch over to using iPhone as a primary. I'm trying to figure out how to get WhatsApp pics from old phone. When you just sign into your old WhatsApp account, isn't there a new improved Cellbrite now? I think Murder by Maestro did a piece on it in some, and you know what's, I'll say this about Cellbrite. It's a Jewish company from what I've read. I still have the device, but it's broken, but still registers when I plug it into the PC, so I might be able to get it then. These people, they're just, I'm sorry, they're the most stupidest, smart people I've ever seen. Yeah, Israel company. Just, it's so funny that, they're Jewish, they hate their own background, they're disgusting human beings. But how much you could get arrested and ask Ellie to give you them. Yep, you could. I have, but the messages aren't backed up. I could have backed them up to the cloud, but I didn't. On her inmate profile, it says high school education. Oh, it does on Katie's, because she even has it there with her Let's Be Friends site. I can't believe Metrics is actually talking to Katie. She won't talk to me. How? That's a shame. Literally just earlier to ask them to resend. Wendy had to get drunk to sleep with Jeff, no different than a prostitute. But okay, welcome for one, and you're at the right site. But Jeff, I didn't find Jeff was ugly or anything. But Wendy was a lush. That's plain and simple. Jewish isn't practicing the faith. Socially Jewish isn't practicing the faith. So yeah, some of WhatsApp stuff is tied to device. Yep. Wendy, I think, had a burner phone, but there may be some things in Charlie's cloud because he was in her contacts. So she deletes, this is sweet. She deletes that. I'm guaranteeing we see on Charlie's side what that actually means, because George is not bringing it out. She wasn't bringing out all the stuff she had on Wendy. Yeah, Katie is way undereducated, no bachelor degree. She seems very uneducated, even if she is educated. Don't put sex workers down like that. They aren't murderers like Wendy. Yep. So anybody new here will hear me call her Turnpike Wendy. That's my nickname for Wendy. She's got a lot of miles on her, I think, that girl. But saying that, Turnpike Wendy. So yeah, you'll hear me say Turnpike Wendy. You'll hear me saying Flying Monkeys. So Jeff here. Jeff was a catch. She faked everything in her life because nothing was good enough for the princess. Absolutely, Jill. 100%. And I wish all the best for Jeffrey Lacoste. I can't wait for this man to write a book. Hi, Gamma. I'm going to look up to see if Katie has BA in clearinghouse data. She apparently has a degree. That's what Patty said. Well, she even said it on the stand. Believe it was her first trial. She's talked about her education. So any new people tomorrow night, if you'd like to join, we are doing Katie. And I appreciate all the coffee crew that's in here and all the new coffee crew that has joined. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. And saying that, I think I'm going to sign off, everybody. Thank you so much. Jakey says goodbye. And have a wonderful night. And I will be back on the irregular time tomorrow. Night, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Patty's Playhouse. Greatly appreciate you. Every minute of it. Take care. Justice for Dan. Justice for those boys.